Hello friends, and welcome to Nanobar. Today, we're going to dive into some explosive news. Let's focus on AI music generation tools. Do you remember that viral AI Drake song from 2023, Heart on My Sleeve? The voice and style were almost identical to Drake and The Weeknd themselves. This really rattled industry giants like Universal Music and Sony Music. They immediately formed a united front. Sony directly issued a public statement prohibiting AI from using their songs for training, and the industry collectively lobbied for a deepfake prohibition act. Just as this powder keg was about to explode, who showed up? Sam Altman and his OpenAI. Yes, the company behind ChatGPT and Sora are reportedly secretly developing a new AI music generation tool. Wow, Altman is about to take on the world's most litigious and unified copyright mafia, the Recording Industry Association of America and the big three record labels, which are Universal, Sony, and Warner. You might be thinking, OpenAI gets sued all the time. The New York Times sued it for copying articles, and artists sued it for copying their styles. What's there to be afraid of? Friends, you're completely mistaken. Today, we're going to look at why the music battlefield is Altman's biggest legal minefield to date. First, let's consider why music is a hell-level difficulty. This lawsuit and the New York Times lawsuit are not even in the same league in terms of complexity. A news article has a single copyright, like a plain pizza, with the copyright basically belonging to the newspaper. A painting also has a single copyright, like a cheese pizza, with the copyright basically belonging to the artist. But a song is a super deluxe supreme 4-topping pizza. Under US copyright law, when you listen to a song, there are at least two major copyrights hidden behind it. The first is the musical composition copyright. This refers to the melody, harmony, and lyrics of the song. This copyright is usually managed by music publishers. The second is the sound recording copyright. This refers to the specific recorded version you hear, also known as the master. This copyright is usually managed by record labels. And it's not over yet. This pizza also has a superstar endorsement, the celebrity's voice, which is their right of publicity. AI can imitate AI Drake's voice, right? This infringes on the singer's own right of publicity. And songwriters also retain their rights. Do you understand now? When a user carelessly types, "Give me a Taylor Swift-style song," OpenAI simultaneously offends four major players: record labels, music publishers, the artists themselves, and the songwriters. This is a quadruple threat. OpenAI's fair use defense is as fragile as paper in the face of such direct market substitution. Next, let's look at the enemy's scorched earth campaign. Altman also knows how deep these waters are. So, he adopted a late mover advantage strategy. He first hid in the background, watching Suno and Udio, two reckless AI music startups, charge in first. Sure enough, the Recording Industry Association of America, representing the three major record labels, directly sued Suno and Udio in June 2024, accusing them of massive copyright infringement. How cunning are the RIAA's lawyers? This time, they bypassed the complex academic debate of fair use and directly accused Suno and Udio of using illegal stream-ripping methods, such as ripping songs from YouTube, to feed their AI. The RIAA's logic is, if you steal rice to cook, do I care if your cooking is transformative? Your act of acquiring the data is illegal in the first place. The record companies are demanding compensation of $150,000 per song. With a training set of millions of songs, this is an astronomical figure that could bankrupt any company instantly. But does the RIAA really want to sue them to death? Not necessarily. There is evidence that while they are suing, they are quietly negotiating licensing agreements with Suno and Udio. This is called using litigation to promote negotiation. The RIAA is holding a $150,000 legal cannon to your head just to make you feel that an annual licensing agreement worth several $1,000,000, which is essentially protection money, looks really good. Suno and Udio are just cannon fodder. This proxy war against startups, the real targets are OpenAI and Google. Having said that, let's talk about Altman's Julia College open strategy. Altman watched the entire script unfold from the sidelines. So, he unveiled a super open strategy, the Juilliard School defense. OpenAI loudly announced that they hired students from the world-renowned Juilliard School of Music to help them annotate sheet music and related data. What kind of brilliant move is this, friends? This is essentially a legal smokescreen. Think about it. Can AI learn Drake's singing style, Frank Sinatra's timbre, or the Beatles' vintage mix quality just by looking at sheet music? Absolutely not. Sheet music only provides the skeleton. AI must listen to thousands of hours of original audio, which are copyrighted songs, to learn the flesh and blood, such as timbre and singing style. The clean data from Juilliard is, at best, the thin layer of frosting on the cake. The huge cake base underneath is almost certainly trained using the same method as Suno, which is massive amounts of commercial music. So, what's the use of Juilliard? It's for the courtroom. This is called plausible deniability. When the RIAA's lawyers throw an AI-generated song that closely resembles an artist signed to Universal Music in front of the judge, OpenAI's lawyers can stand up and say, "Your Honor, you've misunderstood. The reason our model has this style is not because we eavesdropped on the plaintiff's songs, but because our model learned the abstract musical principles of this genre from Juilliard experts. Any similarity is purely coincidental." Isn't this a clever move? It actively creates an alternative source in court to confuse the causal relationship. At the same time, it can also turn the tables, making Suno and Udio appear as bad actors using dirty data, while presenting itself as a good student collaborating with academic institutions. So, do AI and music have to clash? Not necessarily. The industry has already provided 3 clear paths. First is the Beatles model, which can be seen as a technical blueprint. Paul McCartney used AI technology to restore and separate John Lennon's decades-old tape vocals, which led to the Beatles' last song. This song even won a Grammy Award. This proves that AI as an auxiliary tool is okay. Next is the Grimes model, which is a business blueprint. The artist Grimes is the most generous. She made her AI voice model public, and anyone can use it. But there's a condition. For songs made with her AI voice, the money earned, which is the master recording royalties, will be split 50-50. This turns theft into collaboration. Finally, there's the Grammy model, which is a rules blueprint. The Grammy Awards also stated that AI-generated works cannot win awards, only humans can. However, if humans use AI as a tool in their creation, as long as their human creative contribution is sufficient, exceeding a minimum threshold, they are eligible. All right, friends, at this point, Altman's complete script is clear. This is Altmanism. His sword is to seize the market with a launch first, litigate later blitzkrieg, especially to equip Sora, the video AI, with music. His shield is to use the Juilliard open strategy as a legal shield, while incidentally blackening his competitors. His olive branch is to subtly hint outside that they can share revenue, which is actually preparing to extensively replicate the Grimes model. So, the final verdict is in. Will Sam Altman be sued? The answer is 100% yes. The moment he releases his product, his Juilliard shield will not be able to block the rise infringement claims regarding his input, which is the training data. But this is part of Altman's plan. This lawsuit will not go all the way. It will inevitably end in a settlement of the century. The RIAA will use the lawsuit to extract a huge exemplary licensing fee from OpenAI, and Altman will use this lawsuit to defeat all competitors. He will force the entire music industry to sign an exclusive or semi-exclusive cooperation agreement with him, making himself the industry's sole, officially certified AI technology partner. Sam Altman doesn't want to avoid going to court. He wants to use the court to completely cleanse and monopolize this new AI music market. This is how he will win this war.